Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you are all here today. But first, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my Oliver. And if you're returning, you guys know we love you. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I started this project with this big leaf that I got from Amazon. I'm going to paint it with this deco art in the color cinnamon stick. And then the 12 by 12 wood sign and the smaller leaf came from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint those with Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Once they were all dry, I'm going to take the leaf, the smaller leaf, and the sign, and I'm going to cover them with some Mod Podge. So I'm just going to brush it all on over the leaf as well as that sign, and then I let them dry. After they are all dry, I'm going to take this napkin. I'm pretty sure I got this from Dollar Tree last year. I removed the backing from it, and I'm going to lay it right over my 12 by 12 sign. I'm going to cover that with parchment paper to protect that napkin. And then I'm going to go over it with the heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge so that the napkin sticks to it. This is my favorite way of doing this kind of process because it really does eliminate any wrinkling, any bubbles, that kind of stuff. So after I am done with this, I am going to do the same exact thing on my leaf, on the small leaf. And this napkin came from Dollar Tree as well last year. I think they were like in the same design because they have the same leaves on them as the previous napkin. So after I was done with that, I went ahead and covered the leaf and the sign with some more Mod Podge just to give it that protective coat. And then once that was dry, I sanded off that extra part of the napkin all along the sign. And then because there's so many crevices on the leaf, it's hard to get my little finger sander in those crevices. I didn't realize I showed you guys all of this. Oh my goodness, I am sorry. I took my lighter here. I am going to just burn off that excess, and it works because it burns up to where that Mod Podge glue is. So I like doing it this way when there's little crevices. It makes it a lot easier. Then I'm going to take my Tite Bond multi-purpose or quick and thick multi-purpose glue and hot glue. I'm going to glue the small leaf on top of that bigger leaf. And then I love that color. It's so pretty. That cinnamon stick color is so pretty. Anyways, I'm going to also do the same thing on the back of that bigger leaf using that Tite Bond glue and hot glue. And then I'm going to glue it to the front of my sign. And I was going to, yeah, I was going to do it the other way. And then I realized, no, I want to go this way. So then after that, I went ahead and made my hanger holes on this because I got these, I think I got these from, might be Woodpecker Crafts. I can't remember for sure. I got them before the first of the year when Kathy Joe and I were not going to be buying anything, but that didn't last long. Anyways, I decided to go around my whole sign with some of my favorite braided jute cord here, and I'm just hot gluing that all the way down just to kind of frame in that picture. Then I'm going to use that same twine to create a hanger, and I put some tape around the end so that it would go through the hole easier, and then tie knots on it, and that was that. And then I'm going to take some twine here and I'm going to make a 3-loop finger bow. So I wrap my fingers 3 times. I'm going to cut a long tail, and I'm going to go wrap it through and come through between my fingers, and then go through that loop that I just made and pull really tightly. And this twine comes from Walmart, and it is very, very fuzzy. So after I cut the tails, I did use my lighter here to defuzz it, and you just want to make quick little strokes so that you don't burn your twine all the way through. Ask me how I know. And then I'm just going to glue that onto the leaf. And then I had this happy fall word from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to go over it with that same cinnamon stick color. And I, after I had it dry, I decided to outline it with my black marker, and I did not get a chance to show that. But I think that that just helps the wording pop a little bit more on with the leaf background. I'm going to use my hot glue here, and I'm just going to glue that right onto that leaf. And that's all there is. I hope you like this. I love it. I think it's really pretty. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below.
You're not crying, are you? Huh? Looks like you got watery eyes. I know everyone thinks he's sleepy, Oliver, and yeah, he does like to snuggle and sleep a lot, but I really think he does this because of the lights. I think the bright lights, because we are facing one of my big lights, and I think that that's probably why he closes his eyes when I'm holding him. But he is a sweet boy, and I'll tell you what, I was so excited when I got home. I couldn't wait to get home to see him. My husband too, but but Oliver, he was sweet. And my plane was supposed to land about the time my husband's getting home from work. So I thought this is going to be perfect. My husband can get off of work, come straight to the airport, pick me up, and we come home. Well, both times when I flew there to Oregon and on the way back, my plane got changed. Because my layover wasn't very long and the planes were late and I was going to miss my flight. So I was glad that I didn't have to rush, but I did get home an hour and a half later than was expected. And so it gave my husband time to come home and pick up Oliver and bring him to the airport to see me. So that was a lot of fun and exciting because he was very excited to see me and gave me tons of kisses and tons of tail wagging. He doesn't have a tail, he's got a little nub, but it was wagging like crazy. So it was his behind, huh? Yeah. Anyways, it was good to be home, but I had such a wonderful time with my family. My youngest grandson, who just turned 3, my daughter-in-law, her daughter also had a little boy a couple months older than my grandson. So basically, I have a great grandson. I have a few as well. They're all through marriage, not biological, but I have 3 great grandsons. And this one was so cute. He called me Mimi. That's what they all call me, is Mimi. But my youngest grandson, he would call me BB. He didn't say Mimi, he said BB. And in the mornings when he would wake up, I would hear him in his bed go, BB! BB! And I just would laugh. And I asked my daughter-in-law the morning after I got home, did he call for me or did he forget me already? She's like, oh no, he was calling for you. And so was Enzo, the great grandson. He was calling for me too. And I was like, oh. But I'm excited. My son and daughter-in-law are going to be moving this fall a little bit closer, and they're not going to be extremely close, about a day's drive away, which is better than 3 days. So I'm excited about that. They will be a little bit closer, but it's kind of hard. It makes it sad because all of our kids have been moving away. My husband's kids have moved away. Some here now, but there's one in Denver, which is only about 10 hours away too. So that's not too bad, but it's just sad because then it's like, well, who are we going to go visit now in Oregon? I have my daughter in Portland, but there's not a whole lot of people to go see over there anymore. So I don't know when I'll be back over there, if I'll be back over there. I'm sure I will, to go see my daughter and her son, but probably not very often. So it's crazy. But I had a great time, and those sweet babies, oh, I'll tell you, I've missed being a part of their life. But it was so much fun seeing them in their habitat and just the little things that they do that crack me up. And I always, the great grandson, I always imitate him because he'd always ask Yama, that's his grandma, if they could go to the dollar door for the dollar store. Go dollar door. And she'd say, oh, not today, buddy. And he'd go, why? Just like his little whiny voice, it would crack me up. It was always, why? Anyways, I love them. They were so sweet. But it's good to be home. It's good to be home. It's good to be in my craft room. It took a little bit to get me going, but I've kind of got some things cleaned out. I know I talked to you guys about this at the beginning of the year. I was going to clean out my craft room, but you guys, I've been so overwhelmed. I've done a little thing here, a little thing there, but it's just so much here that's just been so overwhelming. So before I started my crafting, right after I came back, I did some deep hemorrhaging of some of my stuff. I just went through each of my little bins, took out stuff that I've had for 3-4 years I've never used, got rid of it. And so it makes me feel a little bit better. I probably won't be able to do any more until after Christmas because we're really ramping up a busy season right now. But I promise that after Christmas, I'm going to do some major stuff and I will show it to you. Anyways, I am making this way too long. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to quit chit-chatting and we're going to continue on with the video.
Okay, DIY number 2. So this one, I'm going to take one of these 12-inch chunky slats or wood pieces that you get from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go over the whole thing with my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm just going to brush it all on and then take a paper towel to wipe off the excess. Then I'm going to do the same thing with some of these, I think they're 4-inch letters from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm going to take one of these wood leaves from Hobby Lobby and I'm going to paint it with the deco art in burnt orange. Then once it was all dry, I took some of these leaves. I got these the year that I started my channel from Amazon, and they're like 500 leaves, 3 different sizes, and I've still got some. But anyways, I'm going to glue them on with my hot glue. I think I have them in my Amazon store if you're interested in them. But after that, I took some little blocks that I went over them with my antique wax as well. And I'm using my Titebond glue and hot glue to glue them together. And then I'm going to glue them on the back of my F like that. And then I'm going to use my Titebond glue and hot glue. And I'm going to glue this on top of the leaves there on that chunky wood piece. And then I'm going to take a block that I painted with that burnt orange, and I'm trying to figure out here where exactly I'm going to lay this this leaf so that I know where to put the block. And then I glued the block on, and I'm going to glue a second block on. I know you're going to be able to see it, but it's really not that noticeable because it matches the color. So anyways, I just used my Titebond glue and hot glue again to glue that in place as well. And then I did the same thing with the L's. I did not glue the blocks together, but I put one on each end and then used the same glue here and put them on the same thing. And then I'm just going to create a little just regular shoestring bow with some twine, and I'm going to put it right on the stem of the leaf. And that's all there is. You guys, these DIYs today are very, very easy DIYs. I think the first one was the most complicated, but the rest are super easy. But I really love how this came out. And like I've said it before, I love leaves. It's one of my favorite things about fall. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have these adorable Highland cow signs that Kathy D made. I absolutely love them. Oh man, that Highland cow is just adorable. And then Martha, she made these lovely pieces. I love your Highland cow sign too. And then her storage things and her door hanger. Great. Great job, Martha. Thank you. And then Maria made all these wonderful things. Look at her Highland cow too. I love them. And then she's got some of her patriotic stuff and her little fairy garden. It's wonderful, ladies. Thank you so much. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. I'm going to take one of these long wood signs that I believe they come from Michael's. One of my viewers named Martha sent me a wonderful big box of goodies, and this was one of the things in them. So I'm just going to remove those little tags, and I'm going to paint the inside and the back with my Waverly chalk paint in the color black, and then I'm going to paint the frame part of it with that Deco Art metallic worn penny. Worn penny, WORN penny. And then I took these wood leaves. I have 3 of them there. I'm going to paint 2 of them with Rich Espresso metallic by Decor and the other one with the worn penny. And once they were dry, I'm going to use my Titebond glue, and I'm just going to glue them inside of my sign here. Look how stunning this is. Oh my gosh. On my last video, I said something about how I was feeling more of the neutral colors, or and I think that this is just kind of along that vibe of just more toned down colors. I just think it's beautiful. Anyways, I took this black buffalo check ribbon. This came from Dollar Tree, man, I just do not see these ribbons at Dollar Tree anymore. It's just kind of sad. I feel like their stuff has gone downhill and their prices are going up. It's just, yeah. Anyways, we'll change that subject for now. I'm gonna glue these ribbons onto the bottom stem there, or these bows, I should say, and that's all I did. I didn't have to add a hanger because it already has hangers on the back, and look how stunningly beautiful that is. I love this, and if you love leaves all year long, you could do this for all year. It doesn't have to just be for fall. Okay, DIY number 4. I told you these are quick, you guys. Okay, this one, I have one of these signs from Dollar Tree that had the beaded hangers. I'm just going to remove that hanger, and I am going to save those beads for another time, throw them in my stash of beads, and then I'm going to use my painter's tape to cover the inside part of my sign, because I am a very messy painter and I will get it on there even if I try really hard not to. And then I take some spackling, I fill in those hanger holes because I did not want to see them. And then I painted the frame part of it with that worn penny, which is one of my favorite fall colors. I just love this metallic paint. Then I looked for this saying on Cricut Design Space. I found it, and I created a stencil with it, and I'm just going over it with my worn penny, and once it was dry, I'm going to remove that stencil. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, you could definitely recreate this using stickers or wood letters, even Scrabble tiles, just Hobby Lobby has an amazing assortment of stickers if you can't find them at Dollar Tree. But just, use your imagination and make it your own. Then I have these leaves, these little leaves that come from Hobby Lobby, but I got these from Yasmin. She had sent me a box a few months ago. Thank you, Yasmin. And I just laid out a whole bunch of leaves on the bottom here. And I love this saying. I have a big sign for fall that has this saying in it. And I just thought, oh, it'd be fun to make a little sign too. Plus, it has these colors that I absolutely love. Anyways, I'm just going to glue all of those little leaves in place. I did end up adding a few on the frame itself where the little holes were. I could still kind of see the outline of the hole, and I didn't want to see it, so I just added some leaves over it. I'm going to take 3 Jenga blocks. I'm going to add some Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue to the middle and some hot glue on each side, and glue those 3 together end to end, and then I'm going to paint them with that worn penny. Once it was all painted and dried, and I don't think I painted one end. Yeah, no, I didn't paint this side of it. That's just because I was going to glue it. So I'm just going to use my Type Bond glue and then my hot glue. I'm going to glue it to that sign. Now that sign was a little bit warped, so I had to take some little clamps and kind of clamp it so that it stayed glued. But then once that was done, there it is. Super simple, but I love it. I think it's so pretty. I hope you do too. I hope you enjoyed today's fall unbelievable video. And here's the final reveal. I will be back again on Monday for the Just Our Imagination Challenge. This is going to be a fun one. Well, they always are. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do before you go. Make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, all that fun stuff. And with all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.